Hi, my name is Brandon Tate, and I am the servant of Kingdom Innovations. And in this video, I want to talk about a saying growing up that we used to have in the household at home is blood is thicker than water. And basically, like, I remember growing up as a kid playing with our cousins, and one of our cousins got into a fight, and we went back to the house. When we got back and told what had happened, the first question that was asked was, well, who all helps? And I was like, well, shoot, naturally you didn't think, anybody, your little cousin, you'll step in or whatever. That's the case. But the fact that I look back on it now and how it was really enforced as to that I don't care who was in the right or who was in the wrong. That's blood. And so you're there to help, whether regardless of what's going on. And so at a very young age, we was instilled in us to be rowdy like that. Like, not saying that we walked around in mischief, like picking on each other, but like we would roughhouse and stuff. But that was inwardly. But outwardly, yeah, we played outside, got along, like saying we running through rampant and being ravished like that. But it just to know that you mess with one, you mess with all. Like, so early, that's family roots. Like, if you come from water, you know what blood is thicker than water, you know what that means. So if someone in your neighborhood commit a crime, you don't say nothing. Why? Blood is thicker than water. So like if you say something, it's like you went against your own blood. But like, nah, man, it wasn't right. Doesn't matter. It's your blood. You see what I'm saying? So this is like an oath thing that's been really ingrained very early, I can say, in at least my Black community. Um, but then I also know that in all communities, which is universal, that similar things in different various shapes, forms, sizes, and colors, or whatever flag or whatever you want to call it, has these things. Some are taught directly, some are indirectly. And so it's mostly in the home. And so I know in Matthew 12, verse 35, it says that a good man brings good things because out of the good that was stored in him. And that an evil man can only bring evil things out of the evil stored in him. And so to put it in perspective, we can say the good and the wrong things. And so in a home, you're supposed to provide shelter. You also can have, the emotional security, guidance, father, mother, what they each bring into the child's life that is a necessity for adulthood. And so, just the emotional support, the pro-social activities, the things that people learn as they play sports and the benefits of those and opportunities, educational things off to college, things that parents that know have a solid foundation of emotion set for their child very early on in the home. And that's safe, there's routine, there's structure, so that the kid's mind is in a healthy mind state to grow and develop and to be healthy and confident and motivated to take on the world. And so on the second part of that, though, of the scripture, what stuck out to me was that only an evil person can bring evil things out of the evil that was stored up in him. And so I look back in my life, and I say this out of blessing, just to let everyone know that Kingdom Innovations is really deep rooted out of my heart and experience. And so my father, who was addicted to, crack cocaine when, was not really in my life. And so, I'm thankful for that because I wouldn't be who I am today. But one of the things that I learned, though, with this saying is that blood is thicker than water, is that could be a very dangerous thing. When they were like, well, how? Well, one of the things is that my father, who was addicted to crack cocaine, God bless his soul, love him dearly. But I'm just saying, as a teen, we was going one day, it was me and a group of friends, we wanted to go to a party. And so as teens, at the time, it's summertime, we wanted to go grab some marijuana and get high, go play basketball was the objective, and then go home and shower, and then have girls lined up to go meet us at the party, and then leave, weed at the house back to where we would supposedly bring the girls back. Okay, so we're on the way there. I'm thinking like, well, shoot, dad hasn't really. Keep in mind, my dad hasn't really necessarily been in my life. I met my dad the first time through state penitentiary envelope and a Polaroid picture and like a 3-page letter. And then I met him when I was 12. He just popped up at my school. My mom was not very happy about that. And then he disappeared on me and disappointed me on my 12th birthday because of a promise of his word. And then doesn't show up again until 15. So at 15 years old, I'm out here partying. And so, like I said, we was out looking for some marijuana to smoke. And as teens, teens do for a party. And on the way there, I'm like, oh, here's my dad. I know he out here in these streets. He would know, if anybody know where to get some, he would know to get some. And so we flagged him down. And of course, as a son, I'm happy to see my dad. So we like, oh, cool. So we all pitch in, give him this money. I gave him the most because it's my dad. I'm like, hey, he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go right across the street and I'm finna grab this for you. And y'all make sure y'all be safe and y'all have a good time. Well, we sat there for a minute, came back, and dad never came back and he robbed us. And so I learned very early that sometimes loyalty, people can say anything, and that love and loyalty is expressed through action and truth. And so even that blood thicker than water, like for some of these kids, like I learned manipulation from my dad. I've learned how to be guarded from my dad from that situation. And so that these are things that are stored up. And like for one, for me to even be out there from the home structure was already unstable because he wasn't there. So like you can see the pattern how, like what kids go through. So when we look on the news and TV, it's like, well, why would somebody do that? Well, you got to understand, like, like my dad robbed me. I mean, that's what I get. I mean, a crackhead ain't go get the weed, go get some crack. And so that's what I get. And now I look at it through forgiveness and a blessing because of something that I've learned and that I realized that a lot of these kids, a lot of people ask like, where are the parents at? Well, they're right there. A lot of these kids' parents are either hooked on it or they're selling it to them, or my mom. I remember mom teaching me how to lie to the bill collectors and stuff early on. I'm a kid, like I don't know. Hey, I'm get to talk on the phone. Yeah, this is what you say, and this is how you say it. Good job. So just that the emotional support of that was the emotional support from that. Like the scripture said, the evil that was good, and so those are things that these kids out here in these streets are experiencing. So a lot of time when we say, "Hey, where are these parents at?" The parents is teaching them these directly and indirectly through actions and behavior, and unknown, foundations and stuff. And so a lot of these kids are just winging it. They just winging it, and so because I did, and my own dad robbed me. So what does that do to the trauma? What is the emotional triggers now as an adult that takes me back as that now that I'm a father? How does that affect me when it comes to family dynamics? You know what I mean? Like, so we also got, Kingdom Innovations is also mentoring these kids, not just for a year, but for however long they need it until up to 26, and because they going to need to know, so I believe that if we could reverse and pluck out and help them understand those things that which was planted by the parents and take away the oath and just look at good and what's wrong and then take out the wrong and turn it into what's good out of it by cracking it open, getting these kids in a space that through pro-social activity, giving them to bring up some of those emotions in the activities to where it's nonchalant, to where we build a relationship with them where they're open to share these things. Then once they begin to open up and they begin to tell us what they need, and as far as us serving them, I believe we can just really just redirect it back towards what's good stored into them as mentors. We begin to store up more good and then begin to pluck out the seeds and eliminate deviant partners. I think the plant can grow. I think they can begin to see. And once the potential in them grow and they see it, they can flourish on their own. We won't have to do much. We just sprinkle and cultivate. And so I'm looking for mentors who want to see behind the mask of the behavior of these kids call at risk. No, we all at risk. We all at risk.